Good afternoon, students, and welcome to week 3. Welcome to week 2. We're going to be talking about the week 3 quiz, and so I'm going to prep you on the week 3 quiz this week. And so before I go on to the week 3 quiz, so the two things you have to do, now that we're in week 2, the two things you have to do for week 2 is you have to do your week 2 forum on time management, in which you tell us how you manage time. How do you find time for family, for work, and school? And then that's the week 2 forum. And then after you do the week 2 forum, you have to do your week 2 outline. And where you write it, you fill out the worksheet, and the worksheet is an outline of your narrative essay. You can find narrative essay topics in the announcements. So I listed all of the, and most people want to do I became a nurse or I became a dental assistant because. So that then I'm going to go over in the week 2 instructor session. I'm going to go over what you're going to be doing next week. So I'm going to go over next week. You're going to be doing the week 3 forum and then the week 3 quiz. So today I'm just going to go over a preview of next week's activities. So without further ado, I'm hoping that you're all having a great week and that you don't have any questions for your narrative essay. So I'm going to start my notes, and here we go. And so here is this week's lesson. So this week I'm going to go over several things. I'm going to go over the week 3 quiz prep, week 3 forum prep, week 2 assignment prep, and week 2 forum wrap-up. So let's start off with, what is a narrative essay? A narrative essay is a story about your life. You tell a story from your life that teaches a life lesson. And so the most common topic is I became a nurse because reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. Paragraph 2 is reason 1, paragraph 3 is reason 2, paragraph 4 is reason 3, and paragraph 5 is the conclusion. Now, if you get stuck on what reasons to use, then you can look at the very end of this instructor notes, and I list the most common reasons that past students have given for becoming a nurse. So if you stick around after, in other words, if you keep watching the video, after I go over the week 3 quiz, I will also go over how to do your week 1 essay, as well as what reasons you can put in. I'll also be putting in these instructor notes into your email so that you could study for your week 3 quiz. And you can look at the very end of the instructor notes, and you can see the all the instructions I have on how you can write your essay. And so basically, when you have a thesis statement, your thesis statement is the last sentence of the first paragraph and the first sentence of the last paragraph. And so your body paragraph topic sentences have to match the reasons of your thesis statement, and this is called the 5-paragraph essay structure. And so here you're going to have, in your introduction, you're going to have a hook. That's the first sentence that grabs the reader's attention. Then you're going to write 5 background sentences. In other words, you're going to summarize the origin story of why you became a nurse. And you would write about your childhood, whatever it is, all has to be encapsulated in 5 sentences. Then the last sentence of the introduction is the thesis statement. You have the topic, opinion, and reasons. And in order to have an effective thesis statement, you have to state the what, which is the topic and opinion, and you have to state the why. Because every time we write a essay, we make a claim, and then we use the body paragraphs, which is the middle paragraphs, to explain, justify, and illustrate the claim. And so that here you have reason 1 will match the reason 1 in the thesis statement. Reason 2 will match the reason 2 in the thesis statement, and then paragraph 4 will match reason 3. So you need to have, in order to have essay coherence, you need to have a thesis statement that has 3 reasons, and then the 3 reasons of your thesis statement will then become your body paragraphs. and then your conclusion. So paragraph 5 will be your conclusion, where you state the thesis statement as the first sentence, and then you summarize your essay in 5 sentences, and that becomes your 5-paragraph narrative essay. Then I'm going to go over how to do the week 3 forum. In the week 3 forum, we will play a food game to practice the descriptive language. When we use descriptive language, we paint a mental picture of the experience for the reader. You appeal to all 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. In this way, the reader experiences what you describe. And so for your first post, which is due Wednesday of week 3, you will describe a food. You're not going to tell us what it is. In this way, the reader experiences what you describe. And then when you post to 2 students, you have to guess what that food is. Of all the forums in this class, this is the forum students tell me is the most fun. And so here is an example. You don't have to have a picture or anything like that, but here's an example of your first post. People put tomato sauce and cheese on me. I am thin, round, and flat. I am made of bread dough. I am delicious to eat. I am thin. I come from Italy. The cooks toss me in the air to thin me out. They sell a lot of me in the store. I am the name of this store, Brooklyn's original blank. What am I? That's going to be your first post, in which you describe a mystery food, and then everybody has to guess what it was that you described. So then you would write in your post to other students, are you a pizza? Are you a hot dog? Are you a hamburger? And finally, when somebody guesses correctly, so let's say that the student goes, are you a pizza? And then you would say, yes, you correctly guessed the post. That sort of thing. That's it. So you just have to go to other people's food post and try to guess what that food is. And so in this way, we practice how to write descriptive language. And because we will be using descriptive language when we want to illustrate in this part of the thesis, in this part of the essay. Whenever you write any kind of essay, you would use descriptive language in order to back up your reason. So this is just a way to practice in a fun way your descriptive language, where you appeal to all 5 senses. Anyway, so that's it for the week 3 forum. So now the week 2 forum. The week 2 forum, you're all doing a great job in the week 2 forum. All you have to do in the week 2 forum is to tell us about your writing process and tell us how you manage your time. Tell us how you make time for school, job, and family. And you can also tell us what the topic of your narrative essay is. So the week 2 activities include, you're going to do your week 2, that's this week. You're going to do your week 2 forum, which is on time management. Then you're going to go and upload your outline of your narrative essay into the assignment portal, and that's due by Sunday, midnight Pacific. And that's it. So this week you just have 2 things to do. Actually, every week you have 2 things to do. So you have week 2 forum on time management and week 2 outline. And that's it for this week. And the week 2 forum is due Wednesday, and the week 2 outline is due Sunday. Okay, so now I'm going to do the week 3 quiz. All right, so starting here, we're still continuing parts of speech in the week 3 quiz. And so we're going to be doing going over parts of speech. So before I go over this, I want to see if anybody is here. I don't think there is. I think I'm the only one. Okay, so I'm going to go over the week 3 quiz. So adjective versus adverb. An adjective modifies a noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. A verb is an action or a state. An adverb modifies a verb. Words ending in ly are adverbs. John rode his horse slowly. Slowly is an adverb that modifies the verb rode. Rodney drove his car too rapidly. Rapidly is an adverb that modifies the verb drive. Adverbs can be anywhere in the sentence. Rapidly, Rodney drove his car. Rodney rapidly drove his car. Rodney drove his car rapidly. An adjective modifies a noun and comes before the noun. However, adjectives are usually before the noun. And so John is a writer slow. That's incorrect. Rodney is a driver fast. That's incorrect. So if you speak Spanish, you can put the adjective after the noun, but not in English. In English, the rule is that you put the adjective before the noun. So correct, John is a slow writer. So slow is an adjective that modifies the noun writer. Rodney is a fast driver. Fast is an adjective that modifies the noun driver. Exceptions. Adjectives can come after the noun, after the verb to be. Rodney is smart, and then the adjective smart modifies the noun Rodney. Clark is tall. Tall is an adjective that modifies the noun Clark. The handsomely man dresses handsomely in a fancy suit. And so you have to know that it's the handsome man, because handsome is an adjective that modifies the noun man, dresses handsomely. Handsomely is an adverb that modifies the verb dresses. In other words, how is he dressed? He's dressed handsomely. So it is handsome man, since handsome is an adjective in this sentence. I was paid handsomely for my job. And so handsomely modifies how well you were paid. So therefore, it's an adverb. And so anything that ends in ly is an adverb. Robert snored loudly. Is loudly an adjective or adverb? And so obviously it is an adverb. Anytime you see a word that ends in ly, then it is an adverb, because an adverb modifies how loudly that Robert was snoring. Now I'm going to do pronouns. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a noun that replaces another noun. An object pronoun is a pronoun used as an object. Object pronouns are located after the verb. So object pronouns include us, him, her, them, you, me, it. John gave me money. So me is an object pronoun because it comes after the verb. So always object pronouns are located after the verb. He gave money to me. Subject pronoun. A subject pronoun is used as a subject. Subject pronouns are located before the verb. I, he, she, they, we, you, it. Those are all subject pronouns. So she is a great dancer. She is a subject pronoun that comes before the verb. I gave her all the money. Her is an object pronoun that comes after the verb. And so on your quiz, they're going to ask you, is she a subject or object pronoun? Is us a subject or object pronoun? And so you have to know the difference between an object and a subject pronoun. So she gave us money. Is she an object or subject pronoun? Sue gave Rodney and Yvonne money. She gave us money. She is a subject pronoun because she is the subject of the sentence and comes before the verb. She gave us money. Is us an object or subject pronoun? Us is an object pronoun because it comes after the verb. The apples spoiled due to the humid weather. What pronoun would replace apples? And so the subject pronoun they spoiled due to the humid weather. Remember that pronouns replace nouns, and apples is the subject of the sentence, so it is replaced by the subject pronoun. John sent Jimmy on an errand. What pronoun would replace Jimmy? And the answer would be he sent him on an errand. And then him is an object pronoun that comes after the verb because it is the object of the sentence, and so therefore it is replaced by the object pronoun him. Possessive pronouns: his, hers, theirs, ours, yours, its, mine, and my, his, her, their, your, its. So these pronouns all show possession. This is my book. This is mine. John's neighbor is blind. This is his book. This is his. The dog's tail wagged. The dog wagged its tail. This book is his. The dog, so is it the dog wagged its tail or its tail? And so it's not apostrophe s here because this would mean it is. So therefore the answer is it's without the apostrophe. It's a nice day. See, that's what the it's means. It is. It's a contraction. So it's is a contraction that stands for it is. My car lost its rear license plate. So the answer to this is without the apostrophe because it's is the possessive pronoun. And whereas it apostrophe s means it is. So that's incorrect. This book is yours. And so it's got to be, so possessive pronoun never has an apostrophe. The possessive pronoun form is yours. The mayor said that the task of cutting the budget was not hers, hers, hers. And the answer is the first hers. Okay, because this is, the mayor is a woman, and therefore, and also we don't have the apostrophes, means that something belongs to something. And here we don't have apostrophe. Oh, it means her is. So here the answer is hers. The book of his is boring. It's not he apostrophe s because he's stands for he is. And so the book of his is boring. And then he's a nice man. So he's stands for he is. There. There is a possessive pronoun, the first there, and then the second there is called an expletive or a subject holder. So there is a pronoun used as a possessive. This car is theirs. And then there is a car in the garage. And so there is it's called an expletive. And it takes the place of the subject. So when you have this kind of sentence construction, then that means that car is the subject of the sentence. This is one of the rare times that the subject comes after the verb, is when you have this construction. So car is the subject, and it is a single subject that takes the single verb is. Their car is red. That's incorrect. Oh, this is correct. Yes, because there is a possessive pronoun, and it indicates possession. There is a car in the garage. Yeah, this is wrong because it's supposed to be the other one, THERE. And then this is wrong because this is supposed to be there is. It's supposed to be this is the right one. This car is theirs. That's not correct. That's incorrect. It's got to be this car is theirs. And so here's a brief review of contractions. Contractions is when we say two words together, and contractions occur in conversational English. And so he's, he is, she's, she is, it's, it is, theirs, there is, he's, she's, it's, theirs, you're, there. And there stands for they are. So these are all the contractions. Demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns show distance. In other words, how far or how close an object is to you. So when you want to show someone something, you go, this book, and this book or this envelope, okay, is very close to me. So this means something that's near you, and it's singular. And then if you want to point to something, that, okay, something far away becomes that book over there. So this book is close to you. That book is far away from you. Then when you have plural, you have many, many books close to you, then it becomes these books are close to me. And then if I have books that are far away, I would say those books over there across the room are far away from me. So demonstrative pronoun is when you want to demonstrate to someone or show someone where something is. And so it has to do with distance. And so when we use demonstrative pronouns, we do not say their house is old. we have to say this house is old. We do not say that their beer is stale. We say that beer is stale. And then we don't say them shoes are smelly. We say those shoes are smelly. Or you could say they are smelly. So that's it for pronouns. A comparative. A comparative is when you compare two things, and only two things. John is smarter than Jan. Jan is taller than Steve. And you cannot say more better, because more better does not exist in English. So you would say Jack is better at math than Steve. And we also don't say less better. Jack is less better at math than Steve, so there's no such word formation as less better. You would say Steve is more intelligent than Jack. Jack is less intelligent than Steve. Now here is an actual quiz question. The stranger or strangest of the two pictures featured an owl with 3 eyes. So remember that when we use a comparative, we're only comparing two things. And so here they mention 2 pictures. Okay, so that means we're only comparing 2 pictures. Therefore, we need to use a comparative. And so the stranger, so it's the first one, the stranger of the 2 pictures featured an owl with 3 eyes. Now, when we use a superlative, we're comparing more than 2 things, such as a comparison of a person with a group of people. John is the smartest student in the class. So the class could have 25 students. So John is being compared to 24 other people. So that's more than 2 things. Therefore, when we're comparing more than 2 things, then we're using a superlative. John is the smartest student in the class. Jack is the dumbest student in the class. The Eiffel Tower is the prettiest monument in the world. Jack is the least intelligent student in the school. Robert is the most intelligent student in the school. And so when we use a superlative, we always use est, 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 est in all of this. An antecedent, a noun that the pronoun replaces. So an antecedent is a noun that the pronoun replaces, and the antecedent always agrees with the pronoun. A pronoun always agrees with its antecedent. Pronouns and antecedents should always agree in gender or number. So let me repeat this, because you have to remember this for the quiz. A pronoun always agrees with its antecedent in gender or number. For example, Jack, that's the antecedent, is a smart man. And then he is the pronoun. And so when the pronoun he has to replace the antecedent Jack, so there's only one person, so then that's number, only one person, so we use, it could either be he or she, and then we got to match it to gender. So when you have gender singular, that becomes he, okay? So Jack, he reads books every day. Jack is the antecedent, and he is the masculine pronoun that agrees with the antecedent. And therefore, the pronoun has to agree in gender and quantity to the antecedent. Jack and Jill went up the hill. They walked a lot. So Jack and Jill, that's the antecedent. But you've got more than one antecedent. Jack is one antecedent. Jill is another antecedent. So therefore, if I'm going to replace Jack and Jill with a pronoun, then it becomes they walked a lot. So plural antecedents takes a plural pronoun, they. So therefore, it agrees in gender, okay, because Jack is a he, and then it agrees in number because Jack and Jill number they. So therefore, a pronoun always agrees in gender and number to its antecedent. After a comparative, you have a subject pronoun. So then you have to say, Veli plays piano better than I. You cannot say, Veli plays better piano than me. Veli plays better piano than I do. And in English, the do is understood, but then in conversational English, the do is not said, normally not said. And so therefore, people confuse it with the object pronoun and think that you have to say, Veli plays better piano than me. But you always place a subject pronoun after a comparative. So you always say, Veli plays better piano than she. Veli plays better piano than he. Veli plays better piano than they. Veli plays better piano than I. All subject pronouns go after a comparative. John plays worse golf than John and Jack. Jack plays, did I do that right? Okay, so Veli plays better piano than I do. The do is normally not said. Jack plays worse golf than John and Jack. Jack plays worse golf than they do. Jack plays worse golf than they. And then it's incorrect to say Jack plays worse golf than them. So always after a comparative, you always have to have a subject pronoun. And so here is an actual quiz question. Your piano performance proved you practiced more than they did. Is the pronoun in this sentence an object or subject pronoun? And so here it's an actual, so that means that you have to be able to read this sentence, and then you have to think to yourself which one of these words is a pronoun. And so you should be able to they, out of all of these words, they is the pronoun. Then you have to ask yourself, is this a subject or an object pronoun? And so here, this is a subject pronoun because it comes before did. It comes before the verb, and also you only have a subject pronoun after a comparative. So therefore the answer is subject pronoun. So that's the answer. So the answer is A, subject pronoun. So here is, let's see if anybody is here. If nobody is here and it's just me, then I will now go over your practice quiz. It's usually more fun when I do it with students, because this is the part that the students have such fun. Your piano performance proved that you practiced more than they. Is the pronoun in this sentence an object or a subject pronoun? And so we just went over this, that it is a subject pronoun because it comes after a comparative. We could not have asked for better or more better teacher in math. And so since there's no such thing as more better, the answer is A. We could not have asked for a better teacher in math. Which of the following is true about pronoun antecedent agreement? And I already said it till I was blue in the face. Pronouns and antecedents should agree in gender or number. William took his classes very serious or seriously. And so here the answer is seriously because it's an adverb that the adverb describes how seriously he took his classes. And so here the answer is B. The clothes that Laura gave my sister and me were too small. Is the pronoun in this sentence an object or a subject pronoun? So the clothes, first of all, you have to go and look into it, the sentence, and say to yourself, which one of these words is a pronoun? And then once you identify me is a pronoun, then the next thing you have to do is ask yourself, is me a subject or object pronoun? And then you look at the sentence and you realize that this pronoun comes after the verb. And object pronouns always come after the verb. Therefore, the answer is object pronoun. And is the correct answer, them two movies are about life in New England, or those two movies are about life in New England? And the answer is those, because that's a demonstrative pronoun in which you're pointing out to someone, those two movies are about life in early New England. As the little boy gently snuggled the tiny kitten, the kitten purred. And so here it's an adverb because the adverb modifies the verb snuggled. How did he snuggle the tiny kitten? He gently snuggled the kitten. Tara told the jokes I've ever heard. Which adjective or adverb completes the sentence? And so here, there are so many jokes in the world, more than 2 jokes in the world, right? And so when we use a superlative, we are comparing more than two. And so therefore the answer is A. Okay, if I wanted to say that Tara is more clever than Jack, if I'm only comparing two things, then it becomes a comparative. But if I'm comparing more than two things, then it becomes a superlative. And since there's hundreds of jokes in the world to compare it to, therefore the answer is a superlative, A. So Tara told the most clever jokes I've ever heard. Jack entered that dog or their dog in an obedience contest. What is the correct demonstrative pronoun for this sentence? And so the answer is Jack entered that dog in an obedience contest. What part of speech is there? And so there is a pronoun. It is a possessive pronoun. He knocked on the door. What part of speech is the underlined term in the sentence? So the underlined term in the sentence is a pronoun. Leave them keys out on the coffee table, or leave those keys on the coffee table. And so since we know that them always comes after the verb, okay, so that, this is after the verb. Anyway, so since we know that those is a demonstrative pronoun, and we're talking about those keys over there, leave those keys over there out on the coffee table, then that means that B is the correct demonstrative pronoun for this sentence. Them is not even a demonstrative pronoun. Them is an object pronoun. Are those seats theirs, theirs, theirs? And we know that this apostrophe S in this case means there is. There's no such thing. And so therefore the only one that's possibly the correct answer is theirs. Because when you put an apostrophe S, it starts to become a contraction. So is it them two movies are about life in New England? I think I did this one already. Or those two movies are about life in New England? And the answer is those two movies are about life in New England. I discovered that my car had somehow lost its rear license plate. What is the correct possessive pronoun for this sentence? And so the correct possessive pronoun, its, because the others are all some kind of contraction. The apples spoiled due to the humidity. What pronoun would best replace the noun apples? And obviously it would be they, because apples is the subject of the sentence. So this antecedent comes, we're replacing the subject. Whenever we're replacing the subject, then we use the subject pronoun they. What is the correct demonstrative pronoun for this sentence? Is it this here map is out of date, or this map is out of date? And the correct answer is this map is out of date. The stranger of the two pictures featured an owl with 3 eyes. Which adjective or adverb completes the sentence? And so here, since we're only comparing two things, then we use the comparative, the stranger of the two pictures featured an owl with 3 eyes. And so that's it for week 3 quiz, and these are the answers to your week 3 quiz. And so if you can answer all of these questions on the week 3 practice test with 100%, then that means you're ready to take the week 3 quiz. And then I think that's it for this week. Oh, and then the writing process. So the writing process consists of 3 stages. Pre-writing, where you write your outline, and writing, where you convert the outline into a 5-paragraph essay structure, and then post-writing or rewriting, where you revise and correct your essay. And so you're going to be, for your week 2 essay, for your week 2 assignment, this assignment is the first stage of the writing process. The pre-writing stage of the writing process is where you choose a topic for your essay and write an outline. And so this is an example of what your worksheet will look like. And so you're going to give me a topic, then you're going to write for me your working thesis. To avoid taking a loved one for granted, one should give that loved one love, time, and appreciation. So this love, time, and appreciation then become your 3 reasons that become your body paragraphs. So paragraph 2 will be showing love to your loved one. And paragraph 3 means giving time for your loved one. And then paragraph 4 means showing appreciation for the loved one. So here is an example. One never knows how long anybody will live. Therefore, one should never take a loved one for granted. To avoid taking a loved one for granted, one should give their loved ones love, extra time, and extra appreciation. So this thesis statement becomes the moral to your story. And then you list the 3 subpoints. So you're going to write a paragraph on how I show my loved ones love. Then you're going to write a paragraph on how I showed my loved ones, how I give them time, and how I give my loved ones appreciation. And then you're going to answer these questions on why this is so important to you. And then you're going to choose free writing, mapping, brainstorming, or questioning. Choose one of these and then do it here. Free writing is where you just, off the top of your head, you just write your essay. Mapping is when you draw a circle, and in the middle circle you have the thesis statement, main idea, and then in the outer circles you write your reasons. Questioning means you ask a lot of questions. What questions do you want to ask about? What do you want to know about your topic? So questioning would be, what can you do to show love to your loved one? What can you do to show more appreciation for your loved one? What can you do to give more of your time to your loved one? So I chose to do the free writing. The doctor took out my mother's ventilator tube. The doctor said to my father, "There is nothing more I can do for her. Say your piece. She will not last more than an hour without the ventilator." My father approached the bed and softly touched my mother's cheek affectionately. I had never seen my father look so devastated. I said to my mother, "I love you. I am sorry for all the times I was too busy to talk to you on the phone." Her last words were, "I'm proud of you, Yvonne. I love you." She never finished the sentence as she slipped peacefully into God's arms. And so this becomes your 5 background sentences, okay? So this is the introduction. So here you have the hook. The doctor took out my mother's ventilator tube. So that hooks the reader to the intro. Then you have your 5 background sentences that gives context to your thesis statement. Then your thesis statement is the last sentence of your introduction. To avoid taking one's loved one for granted, one should give love, appreciation, and time to one's loved one while they are alive, because one never knows how long they have on this earth. So this is an example of how you would do your worksheet. Okay, so this is your week 2 worksheet assignment, outline assignment. And if you have questions about how to do the worksheet, I gave also sample worksheets in your announcements. And I'm going to email these very lecture notes to you right after this video. And so that these notes you will read. So that's what's called lecture notes. When the teacher gives you the notes that she used for her lecture, those are known as lecture notes. So I will email you my lecture notes after the video. All right, so here's another example of free writing. I think this is the same thing. And so the most common topic that students write about is the following. I became a nurse because reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. Paragraph 2, and this is what we just did before I did the quiz. So paragraph 2 is reason 1, paragraph 3 is reason 2, paragraph 4 is reason 3, paragraph 5 is the conclusion. When your body paragraphs match the thesis, this is called the 5-paragraph essay structure. Your narrative essay needs to follow this structure to have essay coherence. And so if you get stuck on what reasons to use as to why you became a nurse, you can use these are the reasons that other students have used from past classes. I want to be a role model for my children. I want a steady career with benefits. I want to help heal people and relieve them of pain. I love caring for people. I get a high level of job satisfaction from my job. I am well respected and well loved in my job. I love working with people and building relationships with people. I can switch jobs easily if I move. Nursing is exciting work, and I never have a dull day. I can choose from a variety of specialties. I can travel the world. I have plenty of career advancement. As a nurse, I am in high demand. I want to make a difference in the world. I have plenty of professional development opportunities. I have a flexible work schedule. I can earn a great salary as I advance up the ranks. I want a steady career. I want to work as a nurse since it is an essential job to society. I am a caring person. So other topics you can write about. A major turning point in my life was because, reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. I started the Fortis College program because. The role model in my life is my mother because. I became a dental assistant, teacher, whatever profession because. Reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. 3 major life lessons in my life are, and then you can name the three things. The happiest day of my life was when I got married because. Going back to school is important to me because. Didn't I do that already? The most embarrassing moment in my life was. And so in the next few weeks, so week 2 is pre-writing, week 4 is going to be writing, and then week 6 is going to be rewriting. So those are going to be the 3 stages of your essay. And that pretty much ends, week 4 you're going to convert, where is it? In week 2, pre-writing, in this first step, you will write an essay topic, write your thesis with 3 reasons, and then write an outline of your essay. In week 4, you will convert your outline into paragraph format and write your rough draft. In week 6, you will revise and proofread your rough draft and hand in your final draft. And so, and then in week 6, when you hand in the final draft in week 6, that will count as your midterm. And then in week 12, when you hand in your second essay, that will count as your final grade, your final exam. And so for week 3, then for the week 3 forum, I gave more examples of what you're supposed to do, in which you give are you a hot dog, are you a hamburger? I think a couple of people have already started to do the food post already. So make sure that you first write your initial post by Wednesday, so that everybody has time to guess your food post between Thursday and Sunday. If you post your first post on Sunday, no one's going to have time to look at your food post because we're going to start week 4 and be doing week 4, be done with week 3. So that's why it's always important to make your first post on Wednesday. So here's another pizza example. I think I did this one already. I have a warm crust. This looks like I did this already. Then you just ask other people, are you a hot dog? Are you a hamburger? Are you a pizza? And then if someone guesses correctly your post, you would say, yes, that's correct. You guessed it right. And if someone guesses it wrong, then you have to give them more hints on what it is. Here's another one. I am long and thin like a pencil. I am made of beef. I come between 2 buns. In New York, people often put sauerkraut on me. In other parts of the country, people put relish, mustard, or ketchup on me. Nathan's makes a delicious version of me, and so does Oscar Mayer. People eat me when they go to baseball games. I do not bark. I am much more popular than McDonald's Quarter Pounder. Some call me junk food. And Hebrew National is a kosher version of me. What food am I? And if you say hot dog, then you would say, yes, that's correct. You win the gold medal. So I've already gone over all of this. And then I'm just going to go over paragraph structure. So your paragraphs, in your body paragraphs, you have to have a topic sentence, a supporting sentence, and a concluding sentence. And the topic sentence is the first sentence of each paragraph. The supporting sentences, those are the middle sentences in your paragraph. And then the supporting sentences describe the main idea, topic sentence. And this is how your introduction and conclusion will look like. You will have the hook, background information, and thesis. And the reason why it's an upside down triangle is you start out very general with the hook, and then you end up very specific. So this is like an upside down funnel. And so you can Google this, and this is known as a funnel introduction paragraph. Your conclusion is the opposite. Your first sentence and your conclusion is your thesis statement. So you start out specific and you become general. So this is known as a summary conclusion paragraph. And this is part of your interactive lecture. So I just simply took this from your interactive lecture, in which your body paragraphs need to have a topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a conclusion sentence. And that your conclusion paragraph should restate the thesis and should include a concluding thought on the essay's subject. And that's it. So this is a very short essay, this is a very short lecture on the week 2 and week 3 quiz, week 3 forum, and week 2 assignment. So week 2 and 3 are all covered in this lecture. And so if you have any questions about how to do any of the assignments, you can feel free to email me. You can feel free to email me anytime. So have a great week 2 and have a great upcoming week 3.